Tani, Bonjour, Kwe, Tanzi, Scano. It's Catherine at Moonstarlodge with Brian and all the critters that are very, very quiet right now. We are at what feels like the end of summer. It's the reading for August 26th to September the 1st. And the next day, September 2nd, is the 10th moon cycle beginning, but we're not talking about that. Right now, we're still at the end of setting sun woman. I'm still doing the Sisters of the Nine Shields, as I mentioned last week. And it's all medicine woman decks and decks which support a medicine woman in their work. So, without further ado, let's go to the cards. So we start the week with the Ace of Bowls. This is an emotional new beginning. And this emotional new beginning doesn't have a clarifier. That's very, very odd. Huh. Okay. I'm going to pull a shaman card to clarify, because it needs a clarifier. And we have Sweat Lodge. So the Sweat Lodge would help us understand the beginnings of new emotional clearing, cleansing the plate coming off that full moon of last week. So a Sweat Lodge is in order as we get near the end of the summer. There's still a month of summer almost, but it's important to get these kinds of practices in. The next card here is the Exemplar of Stones, which is the same as to say the Queen, which in this deck is superior to the King. So this is the Exemplar of Stones. So this means we've got all our earthly walk covered. We've got everything we need in the material world. Work is coming together. What we do, what we practice, all of that is coming together. And it's interesting because this woman in this card is looking at this woman and saying that part of the reason we've got the opportunity for an emotional new beginning is because all of this other stuff in preparation for fall and our life is taken care of. The clarifier for the Exemplar is a card called Skill. Expressing your highest nature through your work is sometimes easiest when work is not exactly as you wish it to be. There are hidden gifts within friction. Therein lies the secret to a graceful life. You are not what you do. Your work is a higher mirror, providing a reflection from which to learn in your evolutionary process. The work becomes a higher skill, and you begin to fine-tune not only your physical self, but your spirit. A Zen garden expresses the essence of life and a highly perfected skill. Come to the inner truth, hard as it might be, to produce that skill. That's what would make the King of Stones. So that's wise words. The Apprentice of Stones. So this is one who is learning all the skills of growing and material wealth, how to plant the garden, how to harvest, how to do the day-to-day work in the sequence of the cycles of life. Cycles are very important here. And understanding where we are in the cycle, not being too far ahead of where the cycle should be and not lagging behind. It's clarified by wrap yourself in a handmade quilt. That's an expression of love. Quilts like the kinds I make. Some of mine are art quilts teaching stories, but we celebrate the progression of life. A young girl coming into puberty and starting menses will get a community-made quilt to wrap herself in. So this is something you can do for yourself as well. It's all the labors, all the effort. It's a job well done. It's representing cycles, and it's representing progression. The next is the Five of Bowls. It's allowing your love for someone or your expression of emotion. It's usually called a card of sorrow, but it's letting someone go who needs to go and offering their love as they are offering you, or offering them your love as they leave. It's a recognition of the end of a cycle in a different way than the cycles being discussed here. I think some of us need to go out. It's clarified by the Eight of Thunder. Sometimes the expression of letting things go brings worries and fear and an inability to see past the end of our noses. It's like trying to look at a forest with your face pressed up on one tree. This is again a cycle from which we move out of. Please excuse the noise. The animals have been good all day, but now they need their bit of attention from Dad. All right, so moving from all this cyclical work, we come to the Seven of Arrows. It's learning how to interact with others, making peace, being open, and not being surreptitious about our motives or our agendas or working alone. It's bringing our thought processes back into alignment with the group we are part of. It's clarified by passion flower. Well, it's not surprising to me that passiflora, the plant, is sitting next to anxiety. This is often a plant we use to actually get rid of anxiety. It calms the brain, it calms the limbic system. It doesn't do anything for squeaky shoes, but passion flower is important. It helps to keep us calm without being sedated. It's just a healing salve, if you will, for our nervous system when it gets fried. The next card here is the Four of Arrows, which is the same as the Four of Swords. It is a sit and be still and work on the things you need to work on, your sacred objects. Just if you need to pull away to do that, that's very important. The wind is the clarifier, so wind as an element it is very powerful, and air or wind is the element that represents swords. So it's important to recognize that being in the wind helps blow away that which no longer serves, including fatigue and restlessness and the things that seem to be indicated here. It's the pulling away to get rid of these energies that are agitating. So the wind, the voices of the ancestors also get carried on the wind. The final card here is the Eight of Bowls. It's recognizing when it's time to walk away in contemporary thinking, but in this medicine deck it's a little bit more than that. It's knowing what to move forward to or towards in order for life to be good and to be happy. Sometimes we have to give up something that we fear giving up, but when you walk toward that which you need to, it brings a sense of happiness. The final card here is Winter and Elder. So elders can help us with decisions on where to go and how to go, but this also speaks to what we're doing here is manifesting in the winter. So that's not that far away, believe it or not. So it's interesting. The card of winds and changes, the Gaia card, the all that is, asks us to be here and now. And it's interesting I placed it here in this alignment with the what is the Four of Swords. So just be present to now. Don't worry about the winter. Just be present in the summertime, as last week's card indicated. The two other cards from Jamie Sams, the Totem is lizards, and lizard is part of the dream time. So if lizard having popped in says that we all need to be focused on and following the messages in our dreams, writing them down, maybe starting a dream journal if you've always wanted to and just never felt you had the time. Lizard is saying now is the time because intuition is coming, which is part of the earlier messages. Vision Quest shows up again. So this is the second time. It's like the Temperance card last week. Vision Quest is showing up. So it's a walk with spirit, finding somebody who actually has a piece of land that they can monitor you. Vision Quest is a process. It can take multiple days, and it needs to be proctored by possibly the elder that's here. We used to do that on our land, and it certainly was beneficial for people. Anyway, you can bring up the camera, Brian. This is an interesting way to get us to the Labor Day weekend and the 10th moon cycle. We thank you for being here and staying to the end. We thank you for giving a thumbs up if you like this reading, for following us on a regular basis, and for supplying the coffee that keeps me going. Brian too, and he's doing well. We're still keeping low here since he is post-operative until the end of the month, but we'll be back in touch with people soon. Kichi miigwech, Yahweh, aho.